I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Black Wrestling News, and tonight we are live. I'm going to try to my best to to be live more often and upload videos more often as well. I've been absent or MIA, missing in action for quite some time because I'm a pre-law student preparing for a career in law as well as being a content creator, a journalist, a commentator, a broadcaster, and so many other things. So I just want to be well rounded during my lifetime so that when I talk about things, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, tonight I'm going to talk about an individual whose real name is Michael Charles Jones. Throughout his professional wrestling career, he was primarily known as Virgil. But little has been known about him. Not too long ago, and I'm going to get into all this tonight. The media was ablaze with his death, but they really did not talk about the man. They talked about him being a sidekick for Ted DiBiase, but he is much more than that. So tonight, this is part one. We're going to be talking about the professional wrestler known as Virgil, whose real name is Michael Charles Jones. So let's get down to his story. Michael Charles Jones was born April 7, 1951, and he passed away February 28, 2024. Better known by his ring name Virgil. He was an black professional wrestler. I'm taking out the word American because that's what Wikipedia said. He was a black professional wrestler and actor. He is best known for his 8-year tenure in the World Wrestling Federation, or WWE, now known as WWF, when he first entered, now known as WWE, primarily as Ted DiBiase's personal assistant. So when he was in the WWF, originally as it was called, he really didn't do too much talking. He was just there, he did what he was told, and etc. In his 4-year tenure in World Championship Wrestling, known as WCW, he wrestled with the ring names Vincent, Curly Bill, I don't know where the heck that name came from, Shane, and Mr. Jones, primarily as a member of the NWO. After retiring, he became well known on social media as the subject of viral memes. So how did it all get started? Where did he come from? Michael Jones was born in Wilkinsburg, Pennsylvania on April 7th, 1951, to Warren Jones Sr. and Elizabeth Jones. He had 2 older brothers, Warren Jr. and Donald, and a sister, Tony. Jones attended Virginia University and played as a defensive back for the college football team. He wrestled as an amateur. So let's establish the fact that he didn't just pop up. He has a life, a history. So Jones later worked at his uncle's loading and moving company and began entering bodybuilding competitions. After a chance meeting with Tony Atlas, shout out for Tony, Mr. USA, in a Pittsburgh gym, Atlas recommended Jones to pro wrestling in 1985. In the same year, he began training with Alpha of the Wild Samoans. So his career is now beginning to start. So tonight I want to talk about his rookie years from 1985 to 1987. Jones started wrestling professionally as Soul Train Jones in the Championship Wrestling Association based in Memphis, Tennessee in 1985. There, he feuded with Chick Donovan and Big Bubba. On January 4th, 1987, he defeated Big Bubba for the AWA International Heavyweight Championship. On April 20, he was defeated by Donovan, ending his reign at 106 days, which was a pretty good feat for, a black brother back then to hold a title that long. So during his reign, he also participated in a tournament for the vacant AWA Southern Heavyweight Championship, defeating Tommy Rich, the Hunter, and Goliath on his way to the final, where he was defeated by Austin Idol. He also successfully challenged Nick Baldwinkel for the AWA World Heavyweight Championship. You know what? I'm going to do a story about Tommy Rich one day. His career just did not seem, for some reason, to take off. He had such promise, such hype in the beginning of his career. We'll find out what happened. Alongside Rocky Johnson, the father of The Rock, aka the Great One, now uh, the heel in WWE. He later held the AWA Southern Tag Team Championship for 28 days until they were defeated by Donovan and Jack Hart. Okay. Now I think I have a photo here, so let me see if I can blow this up. Yeah, I can. There's our brother shortly before he passed away. I have another photo here. This is a nice one. Let's blow this one up as well. They're still photos, but they're good. They're good. It's a real good one there. We're going to do justice by him. We'll make sure that he's resting in peace. Here's another good one of them. Well, photos are courtesy of the Bleacher Report. I want to make sure that everybody get their props. All right, it's enough photos for now. Let's get back to the story here. Where is the story? So I talked about his early life. Now let me talk about his professional wrestling career. Um, as I told you, it was from 1985 to 1987. So he entered the World Wrestling Federation. He was there for different times, 1986 to 1994, and then 1995. So here's a photo here of him with Ted DiBiase, Andre the Giant. Who else is that? Oh, Bobby Heenan. Not gonna call him that other name. May he rest in peace as well. All three of these brothers in that photo, they have passed on. After moving to the World Wrestling Federation, known as the WWF, he first appeared wrestling under the name Lucius Brown in 1986. His first WWF match was losing to Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff in Salisbury, Maryland on September 17, 1986. Jones then went on to debut in the summer of 1987 as Virgil, the bodyguard for Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase. Virgil carried DiBiase's money that he liked to flaunt and was the one who got beaten up while DiBiase escaped the ring. Jobber. Virgil played a significant secondary role in the WWF main event storylines throughout 1988, including some of the biggest moments in WWF history, assisting Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant during the infamous televised main event special on NBC where Hulk Hogan lost the World Heavyweight Championship after nearly 5 years as the champion. As the ensuing WrestleMania 4 tournament and in the main event on the inaugural SummerSlam, at SummerSlam 1988, Virgil was in the corner of Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase as the Megabucks against Hulk Hogan, who was the champion, Randy Savage, and Miss Elizabeth as the Mega Powers. Throughout 1988 and 1991, Virgil would also occasionally wrestle against DiBiase as rivals as a gatekeeper. If DiBiase's opponents could defeat Virgil, they could finally be granted a match with the $1 Million Man. Virgil was humiliated by DiBiase consistently and eventually turned on him, hitting him with his own $1 Million title belt at the Royal Rumble in January 1991, making him a fan favorite. After befriending and training with Roddy Piper, he defeated Ted DiBiase by countout at WrestleMania 7 and pinned him for Ted DiBiase's unsanctioned $1 Million Championship on August 26, 1991 at SummerSlam. He lost the $1 million championship belt back to DiBiase in the summer of 1991 as a result of outside interference by Repo Man. So, as you can see the history, at Survivor Series 1991, Virgil was on Roddy Piper's team with Bret Hart and the British Bulldog, losing alongside Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, the Warlord, and the Mountie. Virgil was disqualified with Hart and Piper after being counted out of the ring during a brawl with DiBiase and the Mountie at the end of the match, losing to Ric Flair, who was still in the ring. At this Tuesday in Texas, Repo Man and Ted DiBiase defeated Virgil and Tito Santana. I'm going to leave it right here for now, and when I come back in part 2, I'm going to talk about his various storylines and departure from the WWF in 1992, 1994, and 1995. But for now, for Black Wrestling News, I'm Tyrone Bowman.